And welcome everyone to the first game of the series, a best of 5 set between TheMax and Villese. A fight to the death. Both these Finns players will be fighting for a spot in the round of 12. So this is the second to last series that they need to play in order to qualify for the Grand Melee, and unfortunately only one of these players is coming out of the engagement alive. For Villese playing on the right hand side with the Chinese civilization, he's going to begin with 3 extra villagers, indeed. But he does begin with less food and less wood compared to other civilizations. Besides that, we get for Chinese 5 extra line of sight and 5 higher population support from TCs, as well as 10, 15, 20% cheaper upgrades in the Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages. And on top of that, we're gonna see for the Chinese, for the team bonus, 10% extra food, from farms, while TheMax is playing with Mongols. This is a very strong civilization that gets 40% faster working hunters, thus much faster food income from wild animals, and we are going to see the boars over there, the deer already. Underneath the TC from TheMax is doing a really good job pushing the deer into the TC, is going to end up collecting them all. And then on top of that, we also see for Max's civilization 30% extra HP on light cavalry, Hussar and Step Lancer line units, as well as 25% faster attacking cavalry archer type units. And for the team bonus, the Mongols will get 2 extra line of sight on scout line units, right? So that's going to come in quite handy early on when you're just trying to spot where your resources are. This is weird at the camera generation. Is it too fair? It seems alright to me. Let's take a look at the map for both these players. Starting with the blue player, we'll see that he's got the main goal on the back, which is beautiful. And then he's got the secondary goal up in the north, towards the left-hand side. And that'd be about it, right? The main stone on the left-hand side is kind of close to the center, which is good. And then the secondary stone over here is going to be on the right-hand side towards the north. So this stone over here is actually making it a little bit easier for him to defend more than one resource at a time. Like if he goes for one tower over here, he will be able to secure the wood line, and he will be able to secure the stone as well at the same time. Taking a look at the map generation for TheMax, on the other hand, we're gonna see that the main goal for him is actually forward, so it's not quite as safe compared to Villese's. However, this is also going to make it a little bit easier for him to secure this area, right? So there is the wood line over here, and we could very well see the red player end up going for like a tower over here. Perhaps not right there, perhaps more like over here, right? But he would still be able to provide some degree of protection to both these resources with a single fortification. Besides that, we'll see for the red player, the main star on the back, secondary gold on the back, and that'll be about it. As TheMax gets to the fuel age, he's going to go for an archer range. And Vilese's getting only now to the fuel age, still about 40 seconds away from it. And guys, predictions are open for the next 2.5 minutes. Thank you, Arbase. You're going to be able to predict who you think is going to win game number 1 between TheMax and the Villese. Option 1, I would assume is probably Villese. Option 2, I would assume is probably TheMax. Yes, indeed. And you can use your channel points, of course, to play the prediction contest. Villese is already aware of TheMax's archer range, by the way. Blacksmith coming up now for TheMax as well. There we go. TheMax is going to be the first one to put some pressure. He's got the scout over here trying to prevent the walls from coming up, and Villese is trying to prevent, of course, the units from coming in the first place. Is he going to get this on time, though? Beautiful tower from TheMax, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. That is the sneaky tower. With medium trees over here is not quite as visible as with small trees. Certainly with big trees, you probably would not see it at all. But yeah, in the end, Villese is going to react over here with a tower of his own. Yeah, and he should be fine. He's got the defense advantage over here. He should be the one taking the tower down over here for sure. Especially as TheMax has only one villager over there to potentially repair the tower with. He's got only archers inside. Yeah, you see, and there is definitely not a whole lot for TheMax to do over there in terms of repairing the tower. Villese instead is going for a much more standard scout push over here. Usually you want to see the players going for scouts because it's going to be the highest mobility unit, and because of this map being so open, it's going to be the unit that allows you to get something like this, right? So a village goes down over there from TheMax already, and that's gonna be first blood, guys. It's gonna keep on roaming around, trying to find some exposed economy, and TheMax has done a really good job at keeping his economy safe with these villagers very close to the TC. These villagers already surrounded by walls, and these villagers over here as well surrounded by walls. Doesn't seem like Villese will be able to do too much. Interestingly enough though, Villese struggled to get rid of the tower, and you know what? There is a villager going down underneath the tower over here. Take a look at the KD over here. KD is 1-to-1. So one of the villagers from Villese went down, and that was actually really good for TheMax, and not something that I thought he was going to be able to get away with in the end. But now we have the scouts coming over the left hand side. We're going to see yet another villager go down from TheMax, and Villese is looking strong, guys. He is on fire. Third villager kill for Villese. Early on into the game already, 31-27 worker count for Villese, and TheMax already looking so much stronger for the bull player. And TheMax, he's got a lot of catching up to do. He's got a lot of economy to offset for. So he's got the archers coming over. 7 archers over here should be enough for him to get some villagers. However, Villese's reaction is swift and appropriate as well. He's going to bring the villagers back towards the TC. Welcome to the club, the Violent Vigilante. Thank you so much for the sub. That is a curious name, the Violent Vigilante. It's very much appreciated, and with Prime Gaming as well. You guys know that I love the Prime subs. It's free for you. It gives me the bestest bucks, of course, which we need. We need as many bestest bucks as possible, and you know why. So yeah, thank you so much. Yes, and welcome. Villese is gonna keep on roaming around with the scouts, trying to get more villager picks over here. Won't be able to, but he's been able to push the villagers away from berries over here for quite a while. And Max's economy is going to suffer as a result for it. On the right hand side, it's going to be Villese, the one getting pushed away from berries, but he had already collected the majority of this, and there is only 34 food left over there. I don't think Villese is hoping to finish collecting from the berries over here whatsoever. So Villese is putting some pressure, and he's been the one for the most part to get the most damage done. And TheMax is putting some pressure over here, but he's not really being able to disrupt Villese's economy too much. And because of the much higher idle TC time for the red player, we're going to see a much higher worker count for Villese. That is going to go beyond what the 3 additional villagers at the very beginning and the villager picks that he's gotten. The better KD that he's gotten for economy against TheMax should grant him. It's going to be at this point in time 6 extra workers already for Villese, which is nothing short of remarkable. Because his economy is significantly stronger, if he plays his cards right over here and he plays defense, he should be in a position to go up to the castle age significantly earlier. And of course, whoever gets to the castle age the fastest over here is going to get an incredible power spike, so to say. For the time being, it's actually interesting to see TheMax be the one with the strongest economy, as Villese's skirmisher production over here is eating into his food income, of course. Yeah, but from this point onwards, he should be able to stabilize, should be able to start gathering the resources. And the one thing that Villese hasn't really had access to, though, is the gold. Yes. This gold is kind of exposed. He could potentially try and make a play for a tower over there, but he would need to buy the stone, and, well, without access to gold, it's not going to be particularly easy, right? He's collecting some stone right now, so eventually he'll be able to go for a tower, but check this out! The Max goes for yet another sneaky tower. And with the fly chain, he still has enough to take the tower down from Villese and push him away from the woodland over here. So despite the fact the Max has been definitely on the back foot over here, taking the most losses, he is going to be the first one to go up to the Castle Age. He will be the first player to get access to Castle Age upgrades, so Crossbowman and the Balking Arrow upgrades will be coming up for the red player, increasing the pressure he's putting against Villese significantly. Well, Villese, on the other hand, should be able to get enough food to go up to the Castle Age very soon. And the goal situation is starting to improve a little bit, but definitely I would like to see a tower coming up for Villese over here. For the blue player, probably one. Yeah, exactly right there, right? That is an okay tower, but it's probably not the best, mainly because the archers can still roam around from the other side. So here come the archers from the Max. They do get the villager down over here. Even when the tower comes up, though, once these become crossbows, they will still be able to push the villagers away from the right-hand side of the gold. Unless Villese is able to get to the Castle Age himself, potentially make a play for leather arch armor for the skirmishers, elite skirmishers potentially. At the very least, Balking Arrow, so like he can try and keep up with range a little bit. And he's gonna be on his way to the Castle Age now. Villese is using the market quite a bit in the Max. The Max actually utilized the market quite heavily this time around as well, compared to the previous game where we saw him just have an incredible eco bounce. Oh! Wait, Villese is calling the GG over here? He was on his way to the Castle Age? Because of the archers coming over down the south? I don't think the game was over. He was definitely on the back foot. No, it's just the archers. I think it's mainly a matter of not getting access to wood anymore, because with the tower over here preventing the Max from, preventing Villese from getting wood over here, he only had the small patches of wood, right, to collect from. He could definitely have gone for the wood over here on the back. He had walls and everything, but he was going to end up losing a few villages over here. I don't think it was over, but I think it was very rough for Villese, yes. Despite the fact that he was looking so much stronger over here. Let me take a look at the APM just to make sure this is not a drop. It's not a drop! Villese does go on to call the GG. And I'm taking a look at the game. And the GG is certainly showing up over here. He just called it after he resigned, so it's not showing up in capture. Well, wow! That's going to be game number 1 going in favor of the Max over here. Not something that I would have expected given how strong the Fuel H was for Villese. How big his villager lead was still. And the fact that he was still top score, but it's going to be up to the players to decide how long they want to keep on going. And let's go and take a look at the achievements, I guess, before jumping back out and taking a look at game number 2. He was being pushed away from the wood that he was collecting from, but he was not going to be out of wood forever. He could just go for the wood in the back. It would not have been the most efficient, but he had more workers. I don't know. It's really going to be out to Villese. If he thinks the game is over, I'm just going to take his word for it. The Max in the end gets a very close to 4-to-3 KD ratio for economy. We have a stronger economy for Villese over here as well. And for society, yeah, this, right? 500 extra resources. Then for society, we had a higher work account for Villese. He took the fewest losses as well, losing 2 villagers compared to 3 villager kills he was able to get up until that point. And of course, you gotta remember as well that Villese already began with extra villagers. So from the very beginning, he was in a pretty decent spot. Right? So over here, for instance. And then later on, going out to the Fuel Age a little bit later, and then even here, once into the Fuel Age, he was still on a higher work account compared to the Max, right? Like quite a lot. Once again, though, OBS is acting up, so sorry about the lag over here. It's just going to take a few seconds, hopefully not too long, for OBS to stop freaking out over here. It's just the size to utilize 96% of the GPU. It doesn't really leave room for anything else, right? So it's... yeah, and I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but there we go. It's stabilized now. Sorry about that. Let's go. Game number 2, guys. Villese with Japanese. TheMax with Saracens playing towards the southwest and the northeast, respectively. And what do we get for these guys? Japanese will provide for Villese 5, 10, 15, and 20% fast working fishing ships with twice the HP and plus 2 pierce armor, and depending which age he is in, how much faster they are going to work. For the rest of the bonuses, Japanese will also get 33% faster attack and infantry units starting in the fuel age, as well as a 50% discount on drop-off buildings, so mining camps, lumber camps, and mills. And then for the team bonus, we're gonna see Japanese also get 50% extra line of sight on galley line ships. Playing with Japanese over here tells me that Villese is gonna want to make a play for the center because of all the fishing over here. Certainly, it's a civilization that he'll be able to take advantage of all of this with. TheMax, on the other hand, he's playing Saracens. It's one of the cities that I was sort of anticipating to see played over here, right? Either this or Mongols, but then with Mongols being utilized for game number 1, it's going to leave just Saracens open for Frigid Lake. And what do we get for Max Civilization? It's gonna get the market for cheaper, the trace resource for cheaper, and then on top of that, we see for the Saracens, "25% faster attacking galley line units," so galleys, war galleys, galleon. He gets twice the HP on transport ships, that also get 5 extra transport capacity for free. And I think that'll be about it, right? Saracens, they also get 10 extra HP on camels, and I think that'll be about it. For the team bonus, on the other hand, the Saracens will get a very strong bonus of 2 bonus damage against buildings from foot archer units. So it's a very interesting civilization with which if you go for archers and only archers, you actually do not need mangonels or rounds to back those up with, as after you get to a good amount of units, probably 20, 25 crossbows or more, you're actually able to take on buildings with just your archers and potentially even TCs as well. So it's definitely one of the stronger bonuses from the games for sure. Hey Chivalry, when is MBL playing? All streamers casting Villese versus TheMax. Well, we cast TheMax's previous series, so I thought it was fitting for us to continue on over here casting TheMax versus Villese. So I would imagine somebody who maybe cast MBL series from before is going to cast MBL's next series, perhaps. But yeah, there's about 3 minutes left, you guys, for the prediction contest before it closes. Too bad if it is at the same time. Yeah, well, that's going to be each streamer's choice, right? If I had known that everybody was going to do Villese vs TheMax, we'll probably have provided the coverage for something else, because I do like to provide alternative content to viewers with these qualifiers, with many series taking place at the same time, so yeah. There's a Viper vs Margugu. Yeah, there are a bunch of series. I'm really sure when MBLs is starting. FLH is gonna be here for both these players and Villese. Villese will be the first one to get to the FLH. We're gonna see the second dog coming up. There we go. Hey, the Spectre dashboard is back up. Yes. Archer range is coming up now for TheMax as well. He's got so far only one duck though, and he's not even going for a standard galley, so it seems like Villese is going to be the one getting water control over here. Big engagement coming up on the left-hand side of the lake over here. The scout from TheMax is looking a little bit stronger compared to Villese. Villese is going to bring a villager though and push the scout away from TheMax, and now it seems as if Villese will end up getting full center control, and TheMax is not even trying to counter. or 5 Villese on water whatsoever. There we go. So it seems like Villese will, in the end, be able to take full advantage of the faster working fishing ships from the Japanese, and this is actually huge. Yeah. Second archer range is coming up, and the Max is just gonna try to make a play for full land. Meanwhile, back home, the back of his base has got the market and Villese. Vilese's got its own archer range coming up over here, a blacksmith as well. And the Japanese have respectable archers themselves. They get fully upgraded crossbows, arbalesters even. But right now, if you can just get a few skirmishers over here, he should be in a pretty good spot, right? I think he should. Hey, Iron Chef! How are you doing? Hi, welcome back. Hope everything's going alright for you. We're taking a look at Villese versus the Max over here, and it's a best of 5 series for the round of 24 already. We have a draft for the series. From what I can see, by the way, there are 4 series taking place at the same time. There's the Max versus Villese. There is Stark versus Winchester. There is Ming versus Stout. And there is Kingstone versus ACCM. That'll be about it. Hey, Cookie Hand as well. Hi, welcome. Here comes the first wave of archers from the Max. Get into Villese's side of the map already. There we go. Beautiful. Max is roaming around, trying to find an opening, but we know that Villese doesn't really have any openings over here. He's completely walled off. This is about the time where the Max would want to make it, you know, take advantage of the bonus for civilization. If he got to the hill over here and he targeted the wall, he would actually be able to breach through pretty quickly. However, Villese, as we were expecting to be the case, has already gone for a few skirmishers, which makes it impossible for the Max to really get any pressure going over here. Players are going to just try and play for the Castle Age, as Villese has got a much stronger economy, mind you. It's gonna be the first one to click up, and the Max is not really lagging too far behind. He's in the market to balance his economy, and he should be on his way to the Castle Age. If not at the same time as Villese, he might actually beat Villese by a little bit. Check this out. Yeah! The Max is actually going up a little bit sooner compared to Villese. It's not bad though. Villese is going to find himself behind by about 10-15 seconds, I would say, on most. Okay, more like 20 seconds now. Come on, Villese, he needs to click up. But he will have a much stronger economy to work with once he gets to the Castle Age anyway, because of all the fishing economy. Now, this is good for the Max, though. He's getting to the stone over here before Villese manages to get the tower up, so we could see some of the villagers go down. 2 over here have gotten really weak for Villese, but he's not losing a villager. He is losing 1 over here, though. And the TC does not really provide any protection without any villagers to garrison inside it, so the Max is coming in straight to the back of Vilese's economy, and this is huge! This is a kind of play that allow the Max to get game number 1 in the first place, or at the very least, that prompted Villese to call the GG in game number 1. So if the Max is able to keep the pressure going over here, keep the archers alive, hopefully, should be able to prevent the Max from getting, or Villese from getting back to wood. But of course, Villese's got some skirmishers, so should be able to defend against this pretty easily, and he will. And well done. And he's going to clean this up. He'll be able to go back to work. But this economy has been extremely disrupted. Take a look at this. These villagers, in the last minute, less than 40% of worker efficiency. Has not been the best. And good thing that Vilese's got the fishing ships over here, otherwise this economy would not be in great shape. There we go. March is coming forward from the Max, and he's going for the crossman and Baki arrow upgrades. Well, Villese, on the other hand, he gets to the Castle H, and I love it that Villese keeps an eye on the shoreline over here, just to make sure that the Max is not going to try to get water back, right? But yeah, Villese gets to the Castle H, and he's going for Baki arrow himself. He's going for the Elite Skirmisher upgrade, right? Here we go. I like how replacement qualifiers has all 6 who got eliminated in the last round. With that extra safety, right? Nice pressure over here. If it weren't because of the extra Pierce armor, right? The finish ships over there would be in a world of trouble. The extra Pierce armor, twice the HP. Now let's take a look to see if Villese can clean this up with the demolition raft. Let's take a look at the point of view from the crossbows. And the Max is probably expecting the demo. Oh, but is he going to be able to react in time? He does! And just in time, he takes the demo before. Gets a chance of closing the gap over here. And so long as the players are paying attention, of course, it's going to be very difficult to land a demo shot over there. But it might not matter. The Max's units are still getting cleaned up, though. Skirmishes is all the Villese needed. Manuel comes out over there, but doesn't manage to get a good shot. So now the Max is behind. And Villese... Well, Villese was ahead still in game number 1 when he called a GG at the very least in score. So I don't want to say that this is already over, but Villese certainly got momentum this time around at the very least compared to the previous game. That's going to put him in a better position. He should feel a lot more confident because of it. And he probably does. We're 1 minute behind. It's fine. There's going to be a delay for them to host the next game anyway. And if you're watching the game over here, you've been 1 minute ahead, 1 minute behind. It doesn't really matter, right? Unless you're watching the same series cast from different streams at the same time, then maybe it makes a difference. I don't know how many people is doing that though. How many people are doing that? We could try to catch up. Go 2x over here for a little bit. Nice shot over there from the Max. Now that the game has stabilized, maybe we can try to catch up. Just slightly, just 2x. Because an upgrade is coming out for Villese now. And the Max managed to get a fire galley over here. Let's go back to 1x. Starting to put some pressure. Villese is going for his own fire galleys himself. As well as the Max is on 2 fire galleys already. He's going for 2 additional ones. Villese has got 4 queued up as well. He only now gets the first 2 out. And man, these fire galleys are actually not really achieving much of anything for the Max. These units are, once again, so freaking tanky. It doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. 1 fishing ship goes down over there. After enduring so much pressure. So if you want maximum winnings, you go to the replacement and win it because it nets you 2k. Right. The replacement qualifier, is it open again like this one? Or is it only a tournament for the runner-ups from the round of 12 that do not make it into the main event to establish maybe some priority for it, perhaps? Only for runner-ups. Okay, thank you. What's up? Yes. The 7 to 12 place go to replacement match. I see. All right. Good defense. Villese will be able to hold on to the water over here for the time being, although the Max is investing quite a bit into trying to push the bull player away anyway, and now Villese has got on a second TC up as well. The Max is on the back foot over here, so it does make sense that he's trying to put as much pressure as he can possibly put over here, because if he just plays defensive and tries to go for the extra TCs and tries to catch up for economy only now, Man, it's going to be so slow, and he's going to be playing catch up against Villese, who's already been on a stronger economy for a much longer time, so TheMax doesn't really have the choice playing for economy over here. He's got to go for full aggression. Unfortunately for him, it's not really worked out so far, though. He's got only 2 crossbows left over here down the south. He's got 4 up in the north, but Villese has got enough skirmishers and crossbows to defend himself against this, and then water. Yeah, Villese is still looking stronger over here. Good shot from TheMax. Let's take a look to see if Villese can land a good shot himself. So long as TheMax pays attention over there, should be able to prevent taking any extra damage. And Villese is going for an extra fire galley over here because he realizes TheMax has been investing into units behind the jocks over there, but if Villese plays his cards right, he should still be able to hold on to the water over here. And even if he lost the water, he's already managed to get so much economy from the center that I don't think it would hurt too much anyway. And right now, if you take a look at the worker count, Villese actually has more villagers than TheMax. So if he gets completely pushed out of water, Villese is still ahead in worker count. He has already banked a few hundred extra resources from the center, if not thousands of extra resources. We take a look at the gather economy time, and it's looking better for Villese as well by about half an hour. So that should be about 600 extra resources for the blue player and TheMax. TheMax still going pretty heavily on water, although he's probably going to end up getting cleaned up over here by the looks of it. Yes, and the 30C is coming out for the red and the blue players as well. Nice unit control from Villese. Notice he realized the trajectory of the projectiles over here from the mantle, and he just clumped the archers back together. Higher HP pool for Villese. He's got an extra fire galley over there, and the demolition rafts coming there. And bow! Big shot! He's got the war galley upgrade now, so Villese's units are significantly stronger compared to anything that TheMax can go for at this point. And guys, everything seems to point out at a series with at the very least 4 games. As Villese is looking like he should be able to take game number 2 over here on TheMax. Well, Max is gonna have to clutch it up, of course. Villese is in great shape. Great timing. Our guy just came in. Yeah. As the game has somewhat stabilized now a little bit, let's try to catch up a little bit more. I don't think there's too much for us to catch up for, though. Probably just like 30 seconds or so. He starts putting some pressure around. He's got crosses up in the north on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side as well. Gets cleaned up over here, though. We have a 40C coming out for TheMax as well. And Villese is gonna try and drop a castle. TheMax getting massacred? He is. And here comes Villese, guys, with a 4 castle. Let's go back to 1x as TheMax is going to try to get a counter castle up over here. Villese is also going up to the Imperial Age, and TheMax nowhere even near have enough resources to go up himself. And if Villese plays Scars right over here, should be able to take the Mangonel down over there, potentially even delay this castle severely as well. And that is a very good shot from TheMax. Villese will have to pull 1 villager away from the castle in order to repair the mantle over there. And you know what? TheMax is getting the castle up over here. Villese loses a few villages over there, and it seems like Villese won't be able to get the castle up at all. As TheMax gets his own castle over here, Villese gets pushed away from this one. And if he deletes the foundation, he will not have enough to go for another castle elsewhere. He's gonna need to buy a little bit of stone, but if he does that, there we go. So Villese buys the stone, right? If he... Okay, all right. So he's just going to buy enough stone to go for a castle anyway. And then he'll keep the foundation up over there until he's in a position to finally finish building it. That is good. Given the amount of resources Villese had and the amount of resources he's already spent in the foundation, I do like his choice of just buying enough stone to go for another castle anyway. ideally, you know, get a trebuchet out once he gets to the Imperial Age, take the castle down over here, of course, and finally finish building his own castle. Nice unit control over here for Villese. Gets right there, point blank range against the mountain and takes it down. But the sea is coming up now for Villese as well. No castle yet though. Doesn't have the resources. There we go. Villese is going to opt to delete the foundation here in the end. Just try to salvage however many resources he can from that and go for this one. I don't think that was necessarily needed. But it was going to take some time for him to take this castle down, so maybe it was not going to be possible for him to keep the foundation up over here against the mountain for too long anyway. Archer ranges for the max is going for skirmishers. Villese? Villese is not really going for too much in terms of military whatsoever. Gets the castle up and the trebuchet on the way. Very soon, once he gets enough wood. There we go. Yes, sir. The reduced timing, the reduced momentum. Villese was looking much stronger, yes. Now it's taking a little bit longer for him to get himself in a better position once again, but the Max is still behind. He is gonna be in the Imperial Age only in 10 seconds, which means he cannot really fight the trebuchet off. And by the time he gets to the Imperial Age and he kills the first trebuchet, there we go. First trebuchet is on the way. Villese has got almost a second trebuchet out, so this castle is most definitely going down. Well, Villese is not necessarily. And the game has certainly stabilized over here, though, for the most part. The Max won't really be able to do too much yet, but he has finally put himself at a comparable population compared to Villese. He's got a comparable worker count, a little bit higher compared to Villese actually, and he's got a good amount of military. So even though the game has looked better for Villese up until this point, it doesn't mean that the game is going to go in his favor necessarily. In the Max denied the castle down south from Villese. Beautiful, beautiful raids over here, and this is not the end of it. The Max, he's got an archer range coming up, a sneaky one over here, right? With which he'll be able to keep on going for more units. He'll be able to keep on putting pressure. And well, we were expecting to see the Max lose the castle over here in the end, and he will. How many villages do we have for him to repair? 11. So yeah, the castle's going down over there. It's going to take a few extra volleys, but it's definitely going down. What do we have then for the Max to go forward with, you know, to put pressure with? He's just been going for crossbows now, skirmishers, and it's not worked out. Villese has got enough skirmishers to defend himself against whatever the Max goes for, if he's going to go for just range units. It's not too bad. For Villese, that is. And the Max doesn't really seem to find something to put pressure with against Villese. And what do we have for Saracens? They get some of the stronger camels in the game with extra HP as well. They're going to be pretty tanky. We have some of the strongest archers with bonus damage against buildings. It seems like he's going to opt into the archer route over here, going for the arbalister upgrade right away. He's got bracer already, and he's got chemistry. He's got bracer and he's got chemistry, so that's good. But Villese has got some great momentum over here with 2 trebuchets, 3 trebuchets as a matter of fact. Villese should be able to come forward, start taking the TCs, start knocking the TCs down the south. He doesn't realize about the sneaky archer ranges over here. He's going for a trebuchet to take these down. He's gotten the stone walls already to prevent the skirmishers from coming in. It doesn't seem like the Max will be able to do too much, so Villese is definitely in a much better position over here, still in the driver's seat. He's going to defend himself with bombard cannons. Yes. He was trying to go for one with the siege workshop over there. Siege workshop goes down. Bombard cannon does not come out, so he's going for yet another one. And in all honesty, maybe Villese is going to be able to take the siege workshop down anyway. Before the Max is ever able to get a bombard cannon out. He's going after the TCs first. But with 4 traces over there, he definitely will be able to take the siege workshop down first. And he's going to go for it. Check this out. Not even a bombard cannon gets queued up. And that siege workshop is gone. Bang! And the TCs, of course, are going to follow suit. And Villese is in a much better position, hopefully. He will not call the GG. Let's take a look. He shouldn't, right? He's got full momentum over here. It's nothing like game number 1, so... yeah, he's coming forward. Doesn't know about the castle yet. And what do we have for the Max, actually? So if he doesn't know about this to see, he can go after the archer ranges, he can go after the stable, he can go after the TC as well. And we have only 2 TCs left for the Max, right? If he loses these, then Villese can start raiding around pretty easily, as there are no defenses for the Max. Without castles, he's got no fortifications. There is one castle up in the north, we know about it, Villese doesn't know about it yet. But it's so far away from the majority of his economy that if Villese is able to take the TC down over here, he can just come in with skirmishers and start just taking the villages down. I mean, what is the Max going to do to protect his economy over here when he's got 93 villagers around this area and only 2 TCs to garrison them in? He's got to defend himself against a crap ton of skirmishers and trebuchets. Villese has just finished researching Yatama as well, so we have Yatama towers. Let's go! Beautiful extra projectiles for these towers. Beautiful. Yeah, Villese is actually getting a much better trade over here, isn't he? Oh, the Max manages to get a bombard cannon out in the end. Now Villese gets kind of pushed out. The blue player could try and make a play for Cataparuto. And with some good unit control, he might actually be able to fight the bombard cannons off. It's been a while since the last time that we saw Cataparuto actually used, though. Here we are. Let's see now, Villese gets the elite samurai upgrade, so we're gonna see some samurai coming up over here, and it doesn't seem like there is anything that the Max will be able to do over here against Villese, as the blue player gets a 200 population. The Max is still lagging a little bit behind in that regard. And no Cataparuto over here for Villese means that he won't really be able to defend against the bombard cannon, so he will need the samurai for sure. Nice. There we go, the trenches. They do go down for the most part. We still have one left over here for Villese, but obviously this one is not going to achieve too much. He does take the TC down. There's still one left over here, but that TC was weak enough that it was not going to garrison any units anyway. What is the Max doing? He's going after the skirmishers with the rams. This is just for a meat shield. It's a big struggle. It's a big struggle. The Max is just trying his best over here, but Villese is doing a really good job not getting baited by the rams over here. Manually targeting the units from the Max, right? And with the samurai, of course, he'll be able to take the C-trams as well pretty easily. So TheMax. Any counterweights for Saracens yet? I don't think so. No counterweights yet. And as a matter of fact, I don't think he got much of anything from the castle. Must ram people for 1 damage. And you put the troll face over there and you reminded me of Lord of the Rings. But anyway, Villese is just going to end up taking game number 2 regardless, though. There isn't much of anything for TheMax to defend himself with. The samurai play over here for Villese was going to make it significantly harder for TheMax to keep on playing as well. So Villese takes game number 2 and gets a 1-1 score over here. We'll see what we get. Let's take a look at the achievements before jumping into game number 3. We know that though that this is going to be a 4-game series guaranteed. So taking a look at the military, we have a better KD for Villese. He had the stronger economy in this game as well. Oh wait, he didn't! TheMax was actually able to offset for the fishing ships of Villese. Interestingly enough, towards the end of the game, TheMax actually started collecting more resources compared to Villese. That's gotta be the worker count, right? Let's take a look. A higher villager max count for TheMax. Yes, at some point he was on 132. And yeah, I guess that was probably a little bit higher compared to what Villese had at some point, but I am fairly surprised at TheMax getting so much economy given the amount of workers he had compared to Villese. I mean, take a look at that. Villese was ahead in working count for such a long time. Just went in all wood. Yeah. Alright guys, let's go back and jump into the next game already. And there we are guys, the 3rd game over here to see who's going to get a lead in the series has begun already. We're gonna try to catch up over here, so we're going 2x. We were jumping into this game about 4 minutes after the game actually started, so we're gonna try to get back to live gameplay, alright? Civilizations, Villese is playing with Bohemians, TheMax is playing with Poles. Nice scout snipe over here from TheMax. And Villese sends some villagers over to the center as well to try and contest and control this. For anybody who might have seen the RMS Cup earlier this year, you might know this map. You might remember this map. And TheMax is just going to keep 1 villager over here, keeping the gate open. He does not really want to fight though. Villese over here inside the wall, so TheMax is just going to try to go back. There we are. I like this map. Looks like a lot of fun. It can be. We have seen this map in the past be extremely passive. We have seen this map in the past be extremely aggressive as well, despite the fact that it's kind of a closed map, right? We have seen players actually go for a lot of early action because of all the resources at the center. Alright. In the show match that we saw between the Viper and Hero, they actually did not go for anything like this, so it's good to see a change of pace. 1v1 me on it? 22 seconds idle TC, that's a lot. At this stage, that is quite a lot for TheMax, yes. We are less than 5 minutes into the game, so that is like 5% idle TC time at this point. Anyway. Villese is ahead by 1 worker for a few seconds. The players going out to the fuel H at about the same time. We're still trying to catch up over here. They really talk about the civilizations too much, and let's do that now. So Villese first off with Bohemians is going to get 25% higher bonus damage from Spearline units. It's going to have in addition to that access to chemistry and hand cannoneer the castle age, as well as free mining cap upgrades, 100 wood discount on blacksmiths and universities, as well as fervor and sanctity affecting villagers. For the team bonus, Bohemians markets will work 80% faster, and then for the max of civilization, he gets HP regeneration on the villagers, 5, 10, 15, and 20 per minute, depending on the age. With 5 in the Dark Age and 20 in the Imperial Age, of course, increasing in increments of 5. We're gonna see for poles also stone miners that produce 0.5 units of gold per each unit of stone that they mine, and access to fallwork, which makes their economy really strong once you start going for farms. Team bonus, they get 1 bonus damage against archer type units from scouting units. So the tower's coming up over here. Both players get to the field each at about the same time. The Max is going to get a head start though in the tower, and Villese might not losing a villager. That's so clutch. Villese saves the villager over there just by a hair. And now he's actually trying to get the walls up over here behind the towers, which should allow him to take a look at that. That is beautiful. Because he already had, you can see by the flag over here, he already had a palisade on the right hand side. This is actually Max's palisade, so Max is kind of blocking himself over here. I think he might not be able to select the palaces. If he double clicks over here, should be able to select both and just delete that and then get the villager out through the right hand side, because he is blocking himself. Yeah, I don't think the Max realizes. He probably doesn't see the flag, but he's just going to delete the tower over here in hopes of getting out of here, but he won't be able to if he doesn't pay attention. He should be able to get both these villagers down, and he will. And he will get both the villagers. Villese starts with a force over here. 2 villagers knocked down from the Max, who has gone up to 1 minute and 17 seconds of idle TC time. There's a lot for the Max to catch up for over here. Unfortunately for him, he's got a forward archer range, so he'll try to make a play for this. He'll try to go for a full sneak over here. Meanwhile, Villese is already aware of this, by the way. He's got a very, very conveniently located outpost that gives him vision of this. So he ends up walking out of here. Did MBL win against Hoang? Yes, it did. The current series, I'm not really sure what it is, and I'm not really sure what the result is so far. Anyway. There we are. Defense tower is on the way now for the Max and Villese. This is roaming around with the archers, with some villagers over here. We're gonna see a tower come up. He's trying to outpole the pole. Viper vs Margugu is 0-0 eternally. Let's see, how long is that game so far? Well, the spectator dashboard doesn't show up, so maybe the game is already over. Let's take a look down south. Here come the archers from the Max, and Villese should have expected these archers to come at some point. There we go. Beautiful defense tower for Villese. It's gonna be fine right now. Managed to get himself a 4 villager lead. Between the villager kills and the extra idle TC time from the Max, the red player is certainly falling behind over here. Another defensive tower is coming up, and good thing for the Max is at the very least the villagers he's got collecting stone are going to be 50% more efficient compared to the villagers Vilese's got at stone. So that kind of compensates for a little bit of it, but with 4 villagers over here, it's going to be like having 5 villagers collecting resources from the Max. Meanwhile, Villese, on the other hand, of course, he still has 4 extra villagers, so that's not going to be enough compensation for the Max to try and keep up.
Jakieś rozkazania? Owszem. Jakieś rozkazania? Do waszych usług.
7 archers. For the Max, alright. Yeah, and Villese should be able to defend. It's got the skirmishers over there, so it's unlikely the Max will be able to do anything with the sneak anymore. The moment it got spotted, it just was not going to achieve too much of anything, and now it's just going to be a fight over the center. And we do have resources over here. Of course, we have fish, we have berries, We have some hunting, although I don't think anyone's going to really take advantage of the deer over there. It's very interesting from the Max. He's baiting the tower over here, doing a really good job. With both guys already with fletching, I believe they range. Oh, the villager goes down from the Max. Yeah, and Villese looks stronger once again. I was just about to take a look at the range of these. And yeah, it seemed like he just barely could range the villager. If the Max had sent the villager over to the southeast side of the tower over here, he would have been able to get a better one, but yeah. Margot versus Viper, they are in game number 2 right now, by the looks of it. There's about 2 minutes of spec delay. So it seems like game number 1 was over. Here we go. Village is going down now from Villese, and that is a little bit of catching up for the Max, but there's a lot still to catch up for. Villese is still 4 workers ahead, and he is on his way to the castle age. The Max is not particularly close to having enough resources to go up to the castle age. If he uses the market and sells the stone over here, sells the wood, he's going to get himself closer for sure, but his current economy is not really looking the strongest, so... even if he was able to click up to the castle age, I don't think he'll be able to do too much of anything once he gets there, right? And Villese is getting the tower up over here, getting back to work, and he does have stronger food economy compared to the Max. Once he gets to the castle age, he's going to have plenty of options over here. Villese can go for extra TCs and just play this one for the late game. He can go for chemistry, hand cannoneer, right, and put pressure, potentially. Alternatively, he can try and make a play for monks as well, although given the towers we have over here, I don't think that'll be a wise choice. So I'm pretty curious, and I think the best choice for Villese will be to try and play for economy, because he's got a hit start to the castle age that is quite significant. Getting extra TCs up and extra villagers coming out should allow him to get a lead against the Max that he should be able to hold on to, so long as he's able to get the 30 TC up eventually, and he's able to prevent the Max from catching up in villager production, of course, which... with a head start to the castle, it shouldn't be too difficult for Villese. There we go. So, we have a second TC indeed for Villese. He's gonna get the TC right next to the hunt and right next to the fish as well. So probably one of the best locations for the TC, albeit it's a little bit far away from his main TC. If he was to go for a third TC, I think I would like for him to go for it around here, in between the wood and the goal, right, so that he can secure this, and ideally that'll also kind of close the gap a little bit between this and this one, right? Here we go. Got to go to dinner, be right back. Yeah, sure thing, our base. Yeah, beautiful. Tower's going down finally for the Max, and it seems like Villese is going to get full center control. I don't think it matters too much. He's already getting the TCs. Okay, okay, the third TC is actually coming up towards the south of the gold over here, interestingly enough. So that's good. But yeah, it doesn't seem like anything's going to be possible over here at the center, because the players have already managed to secure economy elsewhere. Mainly Villese over here with the fish, and the fish over here as well. I don't think he's got any fish left over here, does he? He doesn't, so this is he's just going to provide protection to the gold, but he's going for a monastery. He already had one. He went for the monk. with it. I'm not really sure where the monastery is though. At the center? Yes, at the center, okay. It's going for extra monks.
Jakieś rozkazania? Do waszych usług.
And then on the left-hand side, this is putting some pressure over here, but the blue player is looking great. The blue player is looking great, and this is what I was expecting to see if he wants to go for the extra TCs, right? As soon as he gets to the castle age, he starts just building some momentum. Gets a much stronger economy going for him compared to Max's. And the red player, on the other hand, is kind of in the back foot, you know. The Max right now, he kind of looks like he's just laying there, waiting for Villese to take the game, because he got to the castle age and it took him a long time to get the second TC up. So he was not going for economy. He's going for the second TC and the third TC right now, but Villese had a significant head start to the castle age. The Max should be expecting to be playing catch up over here. Villese was always going to go either for economy or for military. If he was to go for military, the Max would have found out already by now. Because Villese with the towers over here had enough control to go for a siege workshop and put pressure, right? So the lack of aggression from Villese should hint at the Max that Villese has been going for full economy. So if he tries to go for full economy himself, given how much later he was to the castle age, the Max should be expecting to be playing catch up over here. Playing catch up against the moving target, as the Villese also has 3 TCs already working, while the Max is only on 2 TCs and only now trying to get the 3rd TC up, right? And then even that, even with that, Villese is going for the 4th TC. So that's good. And where's the Max collecting stone from? That's a good question. He's collecting stone from the starting gold mine. Or sorry, stone mine over here. Sorry. So it's not good. It's definitely not good for the Max. Kind of playing tag against a guy that runs faster. Because very soon will be able to go for a castle himself. The Max, on the other hand, has been collecting stone that will allow him to go for the extra TCs, but doesn't have anywhere near enough to go for a defensive castle if he needs one. So notice, there's a 4 TC coming up over here. The Max goes under 100 stone. And Villese, well, Villese has got a good amount of monks. He could try and make a play for a castle drop if he sends the monks forward. Should be able to prevent the Max from doing anything to potentially deny that. Playing catch up.
Jakieś rozkazania? Owszem.
There we go, Crossman is here now for Villese. Starts putting some pressure, gets a villager conversion over here against the Max, and the Max is playing for the Imperial Age. I don't know about this. He's collecting some stone. What is the plan over here? What is the plan over here? Is the Max gonna try to make a play for Cavalier? Schlachter privileges Cavalier? I mean, maybe. Castle's coming forward from Villese. We were expecting this to be the case. This castle's going to take one of the TCs down. It's going to leave the Max on 3 TCs. Yeah, and the Max, he's got the resources. He's had the resources for a little bit. He's trying to rush the university. And Villese is going up to the Imperial Age earlier than the Max. How on earth did Villese just abuse the crap out of the market? He just did. He just did it. He's able to go up to the Imperial Age. It did not look like Villese was going to be able to keep up with Max's uptime, but this is very interesting. So now the Max is getting to the Imperial Age, and what is he going to do? Cavaliers lack the privileges against Villese, who's going to be in the Imperial Age himself as well, and he's going to get block printing, everything he needs for his monks. Halberdier with 25% higher bonus damage. Remember, spear line units for Bohemians, they are insane. So I don't know, man. Check house, eat the Cavalier. Right. So, we have some spearmen from Villese. He's not really been going too heavily into it. He's not really been going too heavily into monks either, but now he's gonna start going for a few more Halberdier. So it's going to be probably Ro24 from Villese. Is already got in chemistry. So he can go for bombard cannons right away as soon as he gets to the Imperial Age. He's got the Siege Workshop coming up, right? And he's looking great. And Villese is a beast, and he's beasting this one out. For sure. And the Max struggled. The Max struggled big time. There we are. Imperial here for both these guys. And Villese is there a little bit earlier. He's got a bombard cannon on the way, but also a trebuchet. Meanwhile, the Max is going for the first castle now. And oh, Max. He's just going to lose this castle, won't he? He's absolutely going to lose this castle. I don't want to say as fast as he's getting it up, but it's not going to stay up for too long. I'll tell you that much. This is not a very cost-effective trade for Villese, by the way. Even if he landed all 4 conversions, he would still end up losing all the monks, and that is a lot of resources down the drain, so I'm not the biggest fan of this. He gets a single skirmisher and ends up losing all the monks. However, because of his much higher gallery economy time compared to the Max, it might actually not matter. It might actually not make a difference at all. We'll see for Villese, Wagenberg tactics, which will give his gunpowder units 15% extra movement speed. Meanwhile, the Max, he's got like cavalry, he's got chemistry only now coming up, of course. If he wants to make a play for bombard cannons, he's going to be on the back foot, as Villese has been going for bombard cannons already, and he's got the first one over here. He's got 2, as a matter of fact, so the first one was already forward. This is the second one, and eventually, of course, we are expecting to see Villese get Ro24. As expected, the castle's going down for the Max. He will get the second trebuchet out though, but he just calls a GG. He doesn't want to keep on going anymore. And guys, Villese finds himself 1 point away from taking the series over here. The Max behind 2-1 over here against Villese. We'll have to clutch games number 4 and 5 back to back in order to make it. Let's go through the achievements then and wait for the next game. What do we get? A better KD for Villese, a little bit better, not by a huge margin. Approaching 21 to 20 over there. Meanwhile, for the economy, we see a stronger economy for Villese, yes. And then for society, we have a stronger society for Villese with a higher villager max count in the game. Lower amount of villager losses, right? 3 villagers versus 10 villagers lost throughout the game for Villese and the Max, and the world is just... he just looks so strong. So well played. Villese 2, the Max 1. So there we are. Game number 4 is here, and we are going to X to try and catch up and go for completely live gameplay over here. We're gonna see Villese playing with Gujaras and Arabia, while the Max is playing with Frankson. Boy, oh boy, this is a tough matchup. Let's talk about the civilization, starting with Villese's first. Gujaras will get 40% higher bonus damage from mounted units. That is to say, camels will absolutely shred cavalry. Besides that, Gujaras have the ability to garrison herdables inside the mills. However, because of the very thing that we were talking about at the very beginning of the stream, the difference between the Warlords format and Deep Waters League format, which the Grand Melee uses, Deep Water League format, you only begin with 3 herdables underneath the TC, and 2 additional herdables to spot around the map, so it's going to be a total of 5. And you can see over here we have 3 sheep underneath the TC, and then there were 2 geese that Villese eventually found, and he was able to garrison over here. So there's not going to be quite as strong. On Warlords, for instance, you will begin with all 8 herdables already, and that made the Gujaras a little bit stronger. So with this format, it's not going to be quite as much. Besides that, though, the ability to garrison herdables and extra HP, sorry, not the extra HP, sorry, the extra bonus damage, right, from the Gujaras. We also see for the civilization. What is the other thing for the Gujaras, actually? I am pretty sure if I just think about it hard for a few extra seconds, I'm going to figure it out, but I'm just going to go on and read the tech tree. You start with 2 forage bushes, yes. Can garrison mills, yes. Mounted units. Oh, that's it. That's it. The team bonus is going to be camel elephant units being produced 25% faster. So they produce camels faster. They get extra bonus damage from those units as well. And the max, well, the max is going to be in a world of pain, man. I'm not really sure what he'll be able to do. We'll see. If he tries to go for cavalry, camels are going to completely clap him. If he tries to go for archery, the Srimamsha Riders are going to be strong as well. Let's see though. Max is trying to get a villager down, and he's getting very close to the TC. Manages to get a villager down though. That is a beautiful, beautiful drush already. That's paying off. However, the camel over there, over here in the Dark Age, has no bonus damage against cavalry, so you won't be able to take the scout down. No, but if Villese will advance, will he cast his game against it all? Well, if Villese advances, the round of 12 is going to be played only tomorrow. So it really depends on who is going to be casting what and what's going to be available. But yeah, sounds like an interesting match, although I think all 6 matches are going to be good.
Agya. Namaste. Agya.
Here we are.
Namaste.
Yeah, and so far, well, the Max seems to be just fine back home. He's actually gone on to double wall the right hand side. Yeah, on the left hand side, we see double walls coming out for the Max as well. So he's gonna try to fast castle over here. It's quite clear he's already on 28 workers, right? He's going for looms, gonna go up to the fuel age, and we're gonna see the castle age come out very soon for the Max. Meanwhile, Villese on the other hand, Villese has been kind of on the back foot over here, and doesn't seem like he'll be able to go up to the castle age anytime soon. He doesn't have any gold miners, and he loses another villager on the wool line. This is the most successful double militia drudge that I have seen in a while. The Max still has enough HP in these militias to potentially try and threaten another villager. The weak one over here. We'll see if he's going to go for it. I think he probably already realizes about it. But it's unlikely he'll be able to get away with it though. Yeah. Let's bring the camel over, and the camel's going to clean these up. Tomorrow the chances are Hera versus Dowd, Viper versus Jordan, ICCM versus Vallus, Yo versus MBL, Villese versus Dowd. And there is one series missing, right? He is likely to forfeit. He has no visa. I mean, he could still play just for the money and try to get the visa, and if he doesn't get the visa, well, they can use one of the runner-ups. Vinch versus Nikov. Alright. Yeah, it really depends on what order the series are going to be played. And who's going to be casting what. Castle should be on the way for the Max very soon in Villese. Villese has actually done a really good job getting his economy up to snuff. US visa should still be valid. German visas are valid for anywhere between 3 and 12 months, depending on the type of visa you applied for. Right, yeah. So that should be good. Anybody who attended Red Bull World Legacy should be in a position to attend this tournament as well, but even if not, you can probably still try to get it. You know, some places are going to have different services where you will get your visa. Well, not the visa actually. Sorry. But some places do have the chance of asking for an express visa or something like that. Perhaps you can still try to qualify, even if just for the money, perhaps. Red Bull World Legacy took place in October, so 2 months ago. Actually, a month and a half, because it was towards the end of October. I think it began on the 22nd, 21st of October. So it should be good. Even if it's only 3 months, should still be fine. Feels like yesterday. Oh man, don't talk about it. I already miss it so much. What a great tournament. Speaking of which, while we wait for the players to get to the castle each and we wait for the players to get anything going over here, I am pretty curious. Do you guys have any expectations for the Grand Melee? I don't know how many people will be able to attend the event. I don't know if it's going to be an arena or a room or what. But after Red Bull Wololo 5, so I'm talking about Unthrone from last year, and Red Bull Wololo Legacy, the expectations for live events, especially with this high prize pool, they are pretty high. So I don't know. I'm hoping that it's going to be high production quality as well. This DreamHack tournament, there is going to be a lot of people over there, even if they are not there for Age of Empires 2. Right. Yeah, that's true. Will probably be a large room. Right. Alright, alright. Beautiful forward for the Max. He's gonna try to Hong Villese, and Villese is going for camels already. It's gotta be careful. There we go, and Villese right now is only on one stable though. He's going for the second DC, yes. But he doesn't really have the ability to produce too many camels at this point in time. To be fair though, I don't think the Max got too many stables himself, right? Yeah, he's got a single stable, so the Max is really gonna try to Hong over here a little bit. He's got Knights, he's got Spearman, no Pikeman upgrade yet. But he's got Siege over here as well. Knights, Monk, Siege, Spearman. Villese should be able to defend himself with a defensive Siege Workshop, a Mangonel. Against the Ram, easy. And then against any Mangonels, he would have to go for... He would have to try and snipe those with camels, probably. Guys, predictions are on. Thank you so much, Arbase. For who wins game number 4. For the next minute and 40 seconds, so this is going to be a shorter one. You can use your channel points to predict who you think is going to win this one. This match point already. Villese is up 2-1. And the Max is going to try to get his song on against Villese, and we'll see. How was game number 3? Well, it's pretty good for Villese. Yeah, now the Max's push is kind of falling flat a little bit. He's not going for Mangonels. He just went for the single ram. This is a lot of resources invested for the Max not to really try and commit to the push. If he doesn't commit to this, it's kind of wasted resources, because he could have just tried to go for the extra TCs from the get-go and tried to play for economy, but now he's got the second TC while Villese is going for the third TC already. And the Max doesn't have the third TC just yet, though he's getting close to having enough resources. Never mind. Not anymore, but he should be able to go for a for the third TC very soon. You would imagine that one's probably coming up on the left-hand side right next to the stone over here, right? Probably about here. Yeah, well, he's not committing to the push, man. He went for basically no monks. It's got 3 total. Basically no siege. He went for 1 ram. And he lost it, right? Yeah, Villese is in an alright spot over here. Conversion's coming up. Nice body block over there, though. From TheMax. Getting the conversion. We see the 30C finally coming out for the red player. And as opposed to going for the TC next to the stone on the back, he's going for the TC and the front stone. And that's good because if he manages to collect resources from here and then eventually gets pushed away from here, he'll still have this one to fall back to. 40C on the way and TheMax is going all out. Well, Villese is only on 3 TCs. He's going for redemption. He's not going for any extra military anymore. Right? But he's not going for the 4 TC himself, so it seems like TheMax actually might be able to make this work. Is this the Order of the Sheep competition? Yes! Yes, it is. This tournament is hosted by the Order of the Sheep. Oops, sorry about this. I should actually have had this up the whole time. Yeah, it's hosted by the Order of the Sheep. And it's also sponsored by Microsoft, Terra, Repo, and Backforce. I hope that I'm saying those names correctly. Yeah, do let me know because I don't want to piss the sponsors off. You're actually required to have all of these things up if you're casting this. Not everyone's allowed to cast it. I think I saw him post something on Twitter. So far, it seems like it's going to be closed casting, which means that only the host channel is going to provide coverage. So the Order of the Sheep on Twitch, and some partnered streamers to provide coverage for different languages. But in English, for the time being, it seems like it's going to be only going to be coverage by the Order of the Sheep. Dave has been confirmed as the official caster, by the way. And Ellie4K has been added as a caster for the qualifiers. But I'm not really sure if she's going to be also an official caster for the main event. So that's the duo. And they say that they are still working out how they are going to do with everybody else, if they are going to allow anybody else to cast or not. But currently, it is the case that, or at the very least, right now, that's the situation. It seems like it's going to be close casting. No, but you and Mem Spanish? Oh god, please no. It's not that I have anything against Spanish, but I don't actually know any of the names in Spanish for the units or for the technologies. So I would just mumble so much. I wouldn't remember anything. I don't know the technologies. Even, to be honest, many of the civilizations I don't know what they were called in Spanish. Will you cast in Argentinian? No, I'm not going to provide coverage if it's not possible for me to do so in English. Live anyway. Does that matter? Well, for playing, probably not. For casting, I would imagine so. Gurjaras have redemption, they're only missing Cobra Car. Yeah, well, you know, Magnus over here are going to be probably as close as they get. There are technologies that nobody knows how to say in Spanish, for example, gillnets. Yeah, well, I would imagine there are some technologies people do not really know how to say in Spanish, but what if I don't know how to say any of them? Not even the unit names, man. It feels bad. Just the very basic stuff like knights, paladins, right? Maybe the militia line units, but regardless. Imperial is coming up for both these players. If I get any news about the Grand Malaise casting situation, I'm going to let you know, alright? But for the time being, it seems like it's going to be close casting. Nice pressure from Villese. He's got the counter Hoang over here a little bit. Doesn't have knights, of course, and doesn't have really any pikemen over there, but this definitely so much stronger for Villese compared to anything that TheMax ever went for forward. Forward castle is beautiful as well. The players, obviously, after getting the castles up, they're going to race to the Imperial Age to see who can get the trebuchets first. And Villese is going for a second castle! I don't think TheMax, he doesn't have the resources to go for a second castle himself. Wow. So this is huge actually. Even if TheMax will be able to get 1 or 2 trebuchets out over here before the castle crumbles, Villese will be able to outproduce him so badly. Plus, if Villese is able to keep the castles up, and he definitely should strive to try and keep the castles up, he's gonna get access to the chakram throwers, which are so strong, such a strong unit. So I don't know what TheMax can really go for. Throwing Axeman, perhaps? Against the camels is going to work, yeah. Against the chakram throwers, I'm actually not really sure. Do you guys know who wins between the chakram thrower and the throwing Axeman? It would just seem to me like the throwing Axemen are probably stronger, but they are shorter range, right? I believe the chakram throwers are significantly longer range than the throwing Axemen, so that's usually the case. If you have longer range, you're probably weaker overall. 1 versus 1 and Axeman. Assuming, of course, that they range each other, right? But with good unit control, the chakram throwers are going to be quite deadly. They are pretty mobile, and they are longer range as well. In 1v1, the Axeman, but in 60 versus 60, the chakram destroy the Axeman, right? Because of the pierce through damage, right? Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Unless you're probably... Heck, even if you had the scattered formation for the throwing Axeman, I would imagine they would still take a lot of extra damage from the chakram throwers. Man, what a strong unit. Church is already out for Villese. The Church is already out for TheMax. He managed to get the second castle up himself, and we see Siege Engineers coming out for TheMax. Villese at this point in time doesn't really have it right now, but doesn't need it, of course. And there's a third Church coming up for Villese, who's got the population lead right now. And TheMax is going to get spotted over here. Villese had a very conveniently placed outpost, which TheMax should have known about anyway, so... Beautiful reaction over here. Villese is paying attention to the map 100%. The minimap over there, he saw the red speckles over there and was able to send the camels right away. In the end though, it seems like Villese will be the one to lose the castles, as TheMax has done a really good job keeping his own castles up. One crumbles from Villese on the left hand side. This one is going to crumble as well. He doesn't have anywhere near enough units to repair this. And that means it's the end of the Frisbee boys. Yeah. He only managed to get about 7 over here. Definitely not ideal if he was ever hoping to go for any more, but he can still make the play for camels, of course. He's gotten the heavy camel upgrade, so that's pretty good. Let me take a look to see how many stables Villese got right now. Only 2 stables, though. It's not even the strongest camel production coming out. What is Villese going to go for then? He doesn't have chakrams. He's got only 2 stables to produce camels. Just gotta try and keep the churches up as much as possible. The longer the churches remain up over here, that's going to be free damage that Villese will be dealing against castle over here, and that's going to be a ton of resources TheMax will have to utilize just to keep the castles up, of course. So it's not too bad for Villese still, but TheMax has done a really good job defending himself and defending off the push from Villese. Yeah, and in the end, even the churches are going down by the looks of it. Beautiful, well done. Throwing Axeman. Getting a lot of bang for the buck over there. Should have made one castle at home? Probably. I don't know if Villese knew that TheMax was going out to the Imperial Age at about the same time. I guess he probably felt a little bit more confident, especially by going for the second castle forward. I think he probably felt confident in being the first player to the Imperial Age, but Yeah, it was not too much of a difference. That's not a coherent sentence. Hey, 7 to 12. Hi. Welcome back. How are you doing? Hope everything's going alright. Welcome. There we go. This is getting pushed back, and this is starting to look a little bit stronger, a little bit better for the Max. There is still a lot of him yet to see over here, and there's still a lot for him to catch up for, of course. Villese once again. He's got pretty strong units in the Max. Cannot make a play for cavalry. He is going for hand cannoneer, interestingly enough. Hand cannoneer against Gujaras. Now Villese is going for hand cannoneer himself as well. Well, the Max is kind of committed to it, right? He's got like cavalry on the way. That's not going to work against the camels. What is Villese doing in the north? Probably just economy. Yeah, he's got stone miners. He's gonna try to make a play for chakram throwers once again. So he's going for stone quite heavily. Oh, nice snipe over here though. The Max getting a few villages over there, does end up spotting Villese because of the mining camp. There we are. Hangover AF, sleepy on the sofa, but your stream is better than everything on TV. Well, that's what I'm striving for, right? Better than TV. Yesterday I had a talk with somebody who called me the most bearable caster, and I was like, yep, that's what I'm shooting for, man. Bearable. You can't help but take it as a compliment, of course, but that's a very interesting choice of words. Anyway, bombard cannons are moving forward from Villese. He's getting the monastery down. 3 relics over here. Ejected from the Max's monastery, and Villese is starting to get some momentum. Meanwhile, the Max doesn't really seem to have too much. Of course, the hand cannoneer from Villese are going to counter the throwing axeman until he gets to the chakram throwers himself again, and that is going to basically counter everything that the Max gets access to. So Villese can just go right for hand cannoneer, I guess. Sorry, the Max can only go for hand cannoneer, right? The camels are going to counter cavalry. The hand cannoneer and chakram throwers are going to counter throwing axemen, and then what else do you go for, honestly? It seems like the Max is still struggling to find a good composition. To be honest, who can blame him when Gujaras are so freaking strong in this position, in this matchup? You know, I just want to let you know that you're not a complete asshole and that I can tolerate you. Right. Yeah, that's my goal in life, right? Did Villese get Kshatriyas? Villese is getting frontier guards right now. I don't know if he got Kshatriyas. Let me take a look. I don't think he did. He didn't. No, so he's just researching for frontier guards now. He's got it. Beautiful. The Max trying to get the raids going, and Villese already has enough defense over here. So yeah, imagine once he gets Kshatriyas, just how much better Villese is going to be over here against the Max, and he's already in a good position even without it, even paying full price for the units. Oh, he's got a lead. Shrivamsha Riders on the way. Managed to get a castle on the right hand side, one at the center in front over here. He's got the 3rd castle on the way, so very soon we might see elite chakram throwers come up as well from Villese, but he's got architecture as well. What does Frontier Guards do? It gives 4 extra melee armor to elephant and camel type units. So you take a look at the camel riders over here, and not only they get 40% higher bonus damage, but they are now extremely hard to take because of the extra melee armor over here, right? So that's already 7 melee armor. It's for a camel a lot. And here comes Villese. He's gonna dive right into the trenches there. Taking 2 Trishas down already. Going for the third one. And with the Shiram Shriders over here, soaking damage with their agility, he will get away with all 4 trebuchets and the max. 1600 resources down the drain. Villese looks to be in fantastic shape over here to take game number 4. What is the max doing over here? And 3 bombard cannons to boot as well, yeah. Good catch. The trebuchets, bombard cannon, that is thousands of resources down the drain. We have Villese with a bunch of trebuchets coming out right now. With enough castles to potentially make a play for, chakram throwers himself as well. The max! He calls the GG! And Villese will move on to the Decided Series in the round of 12 for a spot in the Grand Melee by knocking his comrade, by knocking his teammate, the Max, over here. With a pretty one-sided set over here, 3-1, but even the game that the Max was able to win, honestly, and I gotta repeat this, it doesn't seem to me like the game was over, and honestly, I feel like Villese, if he kept on trying, he probably would have been able to just get a 3-0 over here, but in the end, it only delays the result by 1 game. And Villese is gonna be the one moving on. Let's go through the achievements, then one more time. What do we get? We'll see a better than 3-2 KD ratio for Villese, which makes sense. You're expecting Gujaras against Franks to get pretty decent traits, right? Their units are going to counter the Max. We'll take a look at economy to see that Villese managed to get about 9,000 extra resources compared to the Max as well. And then for society, a higher villager max count for Villese. Out of a higher amount of villagers trained throughout the game, he ended up losing 15, while the Max ended up losing 45 villagers throughout the game. Well done. Well done. Absolutely fantastic. Villese outclassing the Max in probably every single regard. No matter how you slice it, all the metrics are favoring the bull player, even APM over here. Beautiful, beautiful performance for Villese. Certainly a favorite to make it into the Grand Melee, I think.